Well, good morning. Welcome to Mbuni News Broadcast. I'll be host today, Tony and Asab. Of course, we are here from the Power Shift. I'm not alone here with one of our guests here at the University of Embu. Starting from here, generally, Vincent De Vince, he's a law student here also. We usually call him a Grand Mule in the making. We also have Maru here with us, taking Ajed and also Zek in the field of business. And of course, we shall be discussing issues related to politics here in university or campus politics. Also, we shall be looking at it in different dynamics. You can also interact with us using our social media platforms at Mbuni Broadcast. We are live in our platforms. Now, welcome, Javis. It has been long since we had our last interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, welcome. It is your first interview?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, welcome. And also for your case, Zek.
It's my first interview.
Yeah, welcome. This is Mbuni Broadcast. And of course, you pulled our ambassador. When you go out there, you tell them that there is a Mbuni News Broadcast. Okay, welcome. How do you view, there's this saying that goes, youth are the leaders of tomorrow. How do you see it, Zach?
Indeed, youth are the leaders of tomorrow. That's a fact. I view it as a fact. Yeah, it might be a saying, but to me, it's a fact. The leaders, and what I can say, even if we take it, let us see it in a very broad way, is that the best leaders, most especially best leaders, they are youth. Let's see, for instance, what is happening in Kenya right now. Mimi ndo Sifuna. We are having Babu Owino. We are having the other best leaders are youth.
They are the most vibrant people nowadays in the Kenyan politics. For you, you are also one of the vibrant people I see. You call yourself senior. Mario, what's your take?
Okay, my take in youths are the leaders of tomorrow. Actually, in my view, as my friend Zek has said, it's a fact. But again, we have the reality. And again, we can challenge this fact in the sense that the youths are no longer the leaders of tomorrow. The tomorrow that we used to talk about is now. We are now the leaders of today. And that's my view. And I think the youths should venture in the leadership platform and ensure that we have change in our republic.
Yeah, thank you. And also we see leadership that many people are saying that you don't wait to be given that position. You take it. What about that?
Thank you so much, Tony. Just to a quick rejoinder to what my colleagues have stated. Indeed, youths are the leaders of today, not tomorrow again. We have waited for a very long time. We have seen what our colleagues have done. And currently, we have just a youthful president from Burkina Faso in the name of Traore. We can see the kind of changes that the guy is doing in their country. Just recently, we also have a very youthful president from Senegal, just a 44-year-old. Come back to our country here, we can see the kind of radicalization that we have from our fellow upcoming leaders. For example, the likes of the Sifuna that my good colleague has stated, Sifuna, the Babu Owino of this, and the likes. So generally, as a youth, we need to come up front, take the mantle, and spearhead the development of the country.
Yeah, and now beginning with the university politics and campus, I think you are here in the last academic year. You saw what happened because you are one of the strategists. Starting by you, which front were you supporting, Mal?
Okay, last year, that was last year, February, in the last election, I was a key strategist and a supporter of the Comrades Indomitable Alliance.
The Comrades Indomitable Alliance. It was one of the fiercely contested positions because I saw there was the coalition was good. It had there was no tribalism, as they were saying, and I thought it produced the president.
Sure.
Has it done Vile Labda ulikuwa intend for it to be?
Yeah, sure. The Comrades Indomitable Alliance indeed produced the president, and to his ability, he has done what any other leader could have done, and eventually even though there are challenges here and there, he has been able to maneuver, and at least he has assisted several comrades in his capacity as the chairperson. And also, not only the chairperson, we had that is the special needs secretary.
Yeah, that is
Aaron Bates.
Yeah.
And in his position also, he has done his best. What the Western Constitution states, he has done it diligently. And indeed, comrades, to my best of knowledge, they are happy with it.
Yes, and for you, I overheard you saying that you are always in the winning position. You are also one of the strategists in the previous election.
Yeah, the previous elections. Yeah, actually, I've been in a winning position since I was born until to date. Even the last election, I was in a winning position. According to me, what the elections of last year were true, fair, and non-transparent. Yeah.
You say they were true,
fair, and non-transparent.
What makes you?
According to my opinion, you see, if you see that election, we had a true and fair election in campaigns. Everybody was allowed to exercise his democratic rights in terms of campaigning, so when it reached the time of the election, the day of election, I don't know if the media failed us in this coming election. Kindly put everything in record. We had some shortcomings in that election from the IBC side. It was at around 10 the system collapsed. Let me use the word collapsed. It never worked. The system came to work after 2 to 3 hours, I think. When the system collapsed, there is a certain system was maneuvering around in a comrade's phone.
I was also seeing some of the mainstream media.
Yeah.
They were aligning with the other parties, of which in media it's not advised in that way.
So, as the Constitution states, I saw a shortcoming. I started drafting an appeal before the election was announced at 10.
This university campus politics.
In this campus politics. I was with Kina Chris, but also Mbeta had his people. And you know, as the Constitution states that in appeal, there is an article in our Constitution, US Constitution. It states that you can be legally represented. So I started drafting that appeal. I went personally to the office of the dean, and actually want to thank the dean. The dean, I told the dean went with me until where the elections were being conducted at the CH at that particular time. In that morning, talked to the IBC people. We saw some change. Thank you so much for the dean. And so at that shortcoming, it was one of my opinions that these elections were unfair. So, as the Constitution states that you have a right to appeal. When we won our election, we were not announced as per my opinion at that particular time. So when we followed the constitutional procedures, we went, appealed, and the Constitution states that the appeal has the final say.
Yeah.
The appeal ruled that the elections were true,
and
fair, and transparent.
There was no any.
And
they provided that there was no evidence.
There was no evidence.
According to you, were you satisfied with the?
Particularly, let me just be honest. I was not satisfied. But do you know you can't be above the school laws and rules? You can't just go against the Constitution. We just went back to our books. Saying there's next time, and that next time is this time.
Of course, generally, you are one of the strategists too, and of course, this elections has some process that is to be followed. Now, I was seeing there's this process where students were going for nomination forms. Could you please do for us how does this process go about?
Thank you so much, Tony. Just a quick rejoinder to my colleague what he has stated, so that before I answer your question, I indeed supported a winning team, a winning candidate in the name of William Kibet, CIA, and I've been there in a coalition that I've provide the president. Initially I was with Max Kaudo from the Coalition of Egalitarian. We won. I was with Kaizen from a distance because at that time I was the first year, So we also won with the being Kiprop. I must say that even though I supported Philemon Kibet the previous election, we never satisfied the Congress to satisfaction. We might not have achieved everything that we thought we could have achieved, and we are very sorry to the Congress for what we have done. The current regime, maybe they did their best. I won't blame anyone. But they also had their shortcomings. Having in mind that this is the first time in the history of this university that very many comrades departed.
You mentioned the shortcomings. The shortcomings. What shortcomings have you pointed out?
Well,
up to now.
When we were campaigning, when I was one part of the strategies to the CIA team, we were to bring change to the Congress. We were to bring the kind of renaissance that the Congress have always yearned for. But I supported a candidate. I believed in him then. I also believed in him once he had assumed the office. But he did all he could have done. I won't blame him. Maybe because of anything that he can, unless he can come and prove it.
If I can ask you right now, you were a strategist before. Are you still with him, or are you parted ways for these new elections?
No, not really. These people are my friends. Right from the Kaizen staff, even Marui and Zeka, they are my friends.
Oh,
but they're in a different team. Politics is a game. You find yourself in this team today, you find yourself in the following team, but what you need to carry along is the ideas that you have. So I supported Philemon Kibet. I believed at that time that he is the preferred candidate, but he never performed well. Okay, I won't say generally, but the rating of 1 to 10, he did his best. But we still need to pull up our socks on how we bring in the leadership within the university. Now, coming back to the question that you have asked about the process of the nomination, to the students are aware, once the email has been sent that you need to apply for a position, that the positions are being advertised, and that is starting from the chairperson right to the delegates. We have the 7 position in the big seats, then we also have 3 positions per department. So the positions are always advertised first. So once you have filled the form, they might be re-advertised, like the one that was re-advertised just 2 days yesterday. Yesterday, the 11 positions that were re-advertised. So the shortlisting will be done. That will be done on Friday. We pray for our candidates that all goes on well. And then on that Friday, from 20th to 17th, we'll be doing our campaign, our physical campaign, our online campaign. We'll be campaigning for the candidates. My only appeal to the comrades is kindly let's vet these candidates that we're bringing forth to the Congress, because at the end of the day, we might present a team. We might present a team. Maru can present a team. Zek will present a team. We'll have a winning candidate at the end of the day. So once we have a winning candidate, let that winning candidate be a candidate who can serve the comrades. Someone who, when comrades need representation, they are there so that they can represent the comrades. When comrades need someone to stand for them, to speak for them, to represent them, we need to have a leader who can come forth and present them when need be. So that is the general process of the nomination.
So for you, which alliance were you in the last elections?
In the last election, as I mentioned before, I was in the Comrades Syndrome.
So you are in the same coalition?
Yeah, you are in the same team.
Oh, for you, were you satisfied? Is the coalition doing what you intended in the manifestos that they were presenting?
Yeah, sure. The president, that is the chairman of the USR, has done his best according to the manifesto that he presented to the comrades. He has done his best to his ability, and at least, even if there are some shortcomings, he has at least tried to accomplish the several things that he had intended to do to comrades. And therefore, the shortcomings that came along the way will not overpower what he has done. Yes, I am very sure and very aware that there are shortcomings. And as my colleague has said, a lot of comrades differed along the way. But that only will not make, that only will not be used to judge him, to say that he has not done his best. According to the many things he mentioned, according to the many things he intended to do in his manifesto, he has done several of them.
For you, is it Zek? Are you okay with what they're saying that he did his best?
Thank you so much. So it's
According
to me, it might be a pure balderdash to entertain some nonsensical, comical, and ridiculous lies on my presence. Just be honest. What I can just say is that the facticity of the fact that the administration has done its best. Let's say that according to the constitution, if you have studied our constitution, the administration needs a credit for that. This institution itself needs a credit for that. But for the leaders who we elected, they did their worst. This reign. I was also part and parcel of the Kaudo's team. At this particular point,
so you are in the winning race in the Kaudo's team?
Yeah, I was in the winning race in Kaudo's team. I was in the winning race in the Renaissance because we are the people who brought the majority.
What best did you see in the Kaudo's regime that you are intending to see it in this regime?
In fact, let me say this. In Kaudo's regime, we had something called communication. Communication is very vital, to be honest. Communication is very vital. And in fact, what I can say, it's these things that they are being done in this reign, these are things that were proposed by Kaudo. Let me give you an example. There are toilets in the athletics field. That was a project of Kaudo. That's not the project of Kibet. You can confirm that.
They were built the last academic year.
They have been built. They also, I think, they were finished this academic year. But that was a project that was projected by Kaudo Max. So what I can say, let me just be honest. What we had intended as the comrades of this institution, starting with my friend, my good friend here, Jay Fins. Senior, we were with him in auditorium when last nominations were being pronounced. We advocated for some things as some comrades, also delegates. We were there. We advocated for some things. He was advocating. I can remember well. He was advocating for the office of the opposition. Can you remember?
Yeah, sure.
I was advocating for the change of the constitution
in the US.
In the US. I think at that particular point I was not a good friend of this US constitution. I posed a question to our dean. Our dean told us the people who are supposed to change the constitution are then our leaders. Our leaders who are then now the leaders, the outgoing leaders. Right? We talked, I went back, studied this constitution. If you see our constitution itself, I can even mention the articles and the sub-articles of our US constitution. The power belongs to the student council and the council. And I mean the student council and the comrades, these students. The student council, they are the people to initiate the change of the constitution. For us saying we need a change as a constitution, there are some things. In fact, the person who made that constitution did a very great work. And actually, I'm telling you, the administration, starting with the office of the dean, the VC's office, with that, they are working alignment with that constitution. In fact, they are doing the best work. These leaders we are electing, they never knew their mandate. An obligation of a chairperson, an obligation of the chairperson in the US Constitution. I think it's the second point. It says that he's supposed to protect the Constitution, advocate and protect that Constitution. And also, there is an article that demystifies a lot in the change of that Constitution, where it should be initiated either by a member or by the student council. And that itself, if the Constitution allows it to be initiated by a member or initiated by a member or the student, it means that it gives us power. So these guys, when you ask them, I went to the office of some of the leaders asking what is going on with the constitution changes that we had requested. I'm here not as I'm not here as a coalition maker or as a strategist. In this constitution of USA does not know who is a strategist or at your coalition. I'm here as just a student. all my interest and the interest of my fellow students.
Yeah.
We are here now to give them those leaders who are now, like Marwa said, he has a team. That Joy Fins has said, he has a team of leaders who are now in the nomination, who are now being vetted to see if they can pass that nomination. If they won't, well and fine. If they will, also well and fine.
Yeah. We should come back to you. And for you, Jovins, I must ask you, what is the relationship between the law and the leadership? Because I can see, according to the U.S. Constitution, the function of the student council members of the chairperson, role number 2 is to be a custodian of the Constitution and ensure that it is free of willful and malicious interference.
Well, so just to respond on something that my colleague has stated before I come to the roles of the student councils, members of the student council. We need to admit that we have failed Congress directly. That one I want to admit.
Even if it is your
I support
party.
I'm part of it because I supported someone. I've been supporting people, and majority of them have been me, and but we have failed Congress, and I really want to take the blame as part of the team that has brought forth. I can admit that the last time we had a president in this university was Ogola. Ogola was the last time we had a president, because
which academic year?
That was when I was now joining as a first year. That was the preceding one. Before Kiprop came in, there was Ogola. So when we were joining, we found Ogola as the president. We never participated in his politics, but we already found him as a president.
You felt his influence.
Yeah, the influence was very, very, very open, because that was the first and the last time that we saw a comrade sitting for an exam with a balance. And that was also the first time that we saw the kind of leadership that was representing our interests. Come forth after that, Ogola, we have been having the likes of Kiprop, we have been having Max Kaudo, we have been having now the Philemon Kibet. But now, in the general nutshell, I don't want to blame one specific individual, because you can remember it was during the reign of even Max Kaudo that we had majority of our Congress there was no reason as to why people were that a number of societies.
Yeah,
we had some Congress.
They were hanging themselves.
So we couldn't understand what was the reason, but the leadership was not coming forthright to explain to the comrades what is the real issue that is affecting the comrades. That was during the reign of the Marx and stuff. We also have Philemon Kibet. It was during this regime of Philemon Kibet that I know of a fact that majority of comrades have departed.
Yeah,
People are at home right now. Their kind of hope have been diminished, because they never had the kind of leaders that can stand with them, that can represent them, that can defend them. So I won't blame Kibet, but I can just say that for the comrades, for this time we are going to try to bring in the new change that we want, the kind of leadership that is going to represent our interests. We are sorry for what the kind of regime that has been there, but we want to bring in the new energy that is going to revamp back the spirit of the comrade. The comrade, the style of leadership that we have in the University of Embu is totally different.
Yeah.
Have a look with our colleagues at the Kenyatta University, for example, the University of Nairobi. You will understand the direct shift that we have. It's like this as yetu ya Embu, kuna venye tunaipeleka tu, we are just there. But when you see our colleagues in the other university, the kind of politics that they play, the kind of influence they have, we can also make changes within our institution based on the comrade initiatives.
Yeah.
Now that aside, coming to the roles of the US, the council, the chairperson should be a visionary person, someone who bears the vision of the comrades, someone who bears the vision of the institution. Like, for example, when you're being brought in as a chairperson of an institution as big as this university, you need to be in a position that you can direct your comrades to the path. For example, you need to have new ideas. What is it that you are going to bring in for the comrades? What is it that you are going to initiate for the comrades? Like, for example, now the studio and stuff like this. This should be an idea of someone long back before. You get the point?
Yeah.
But then the problem with our institution is our mindset has been fixated in a way that when you think of leadership, you think that for you to have realized and achieved something in your leadership, you need to have done freshers nights, weekends, fairs and stuff. Those are not leadership. Those are something that are there in the calendar of the school. But we need a leadership that can invent new ideas, someone who can come in with new ideas that is affecting, that is directing, that is solving the problems of the comrades.
Yeah.
You can come in with a new, as a leader, for example, if you are a chairperson, you have the vision for the comrades, you present your vision to the comrades, buy your vision, then you need to actualize those visions. And then something that majority of the comrades also don't know is that the student councils have a kit. And these people have a budget. Immediately that you have been sworn in as a president of the institution or the chairperson or the secretary general, there is a budget that is being budgeted for, because in our fixed structure, every 500 for a comrade is being deducted to go for the student body, the student kit. You know the point?
Yeah.
So when our funds are being directed to a specific council, we as the comrades, we need to know that our funds are being used in which way, in which manner.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see in his roles, role number 3 is being the chairperson of the USS Student Council shall be subject to this constitution and answerable to all matters on behalf of the university.
Yeah, so generally the chairperson is the one who is in charge for the affairs of the comrades. If there is any comrade who is in need of fees, a very needy student who needs fees but cannot afford it, it is the chairperson together with the entire council. Like all the council should be responsible for that.
Yeah.
If there is any comrade who is maybe, for example, his life is at risk, any be it the tenant and the landlord issue, that the leadership should be there to address that issue. If there is any comrade somewhere who is suffering because of the need for food, the leadership should be someone. Because you have this position. We have the special representative person, SNS, who is currently vying for the chairperson, by the way. But if you account for what is the record that he did, the kind of comrades he helped from his docket, you won't find anyone. Because it is at his docket that we have it is at his docket that we need to understand how many comrades were helped through that position. We also need to understand that out of his docket, who are the comrades who are helped in terms of fees. He failed us on that. So the leadership of the comrades, that should be the engine for the student. If, for example, I myself, generally, if I have any problem, the first stop that I should be going for is the University of Embu Student Association Council. If I can't get my help there, then I'm done. Because that should be my first stop. For example, if you have any issue to do, the council is the link between the students and the administration. So if we have a weak link, then we are going. That means that our voices will not be heard to the administration.
Yeah, coming back to you, Maru, there is a saying that goes, leaders don't take people where they want to be, but where they ought to be. How do you feel about the leadership currently?
Now, sure. Before I answer that, let me say something to my friend Jovins. My friend Jovins have talked about the leadership of the special needs secretary, and he has said he failed the comrades. And by saying that, he meant the whole team.
The special needs secretary. Can you just point out some of the issues or also the responsibilities that he was to do, but he has failed the comrades?
Now, let me say this. I was responding to Jovins, and Jovins has said the special needs secretary has failed the comrades, and has said that the student council also has the budget and the kit that is funding their offices. And for a fact, that is it. That is very true. And again, what we have to know also, Jovins, what you have to know is that every starting of every new leadership, and when you are just entering into that office, you have to draw a budget. But of course, those funds are not just there all over in the offices, just anyhow. It has to have a good structure and the way it will be used. And therefore, saying that the money that is being deducted from students' fees have not been used properly, I think it's not a good thing. And Jovins, for a fact, they have their money, but for what they budgeted for when they were starting their leadership.
Maybe tell us, if you can tell us, what is it that this leadership has done? Point one thing
Thank you,
the
Jovins.
kind of council has done.
Number one, and let me dwell most on the special needs secretary.
Yeah,
Special
do
needs,
that.
Special needs secretary, number one, what he has done, apart from all these other things that the schools, that this norm, he has helped a lot of comrades. And for me, when I was a leader, then
You were a leader here at the university.
not in the university, but I channeled in other associations there. I channeled several students to be helped by that man and that leadership that is serving right now. And for me as a leader, then I feel like they assisted me the most. Sometimes back, even I had a comrade who has been taken to Kangari police station. And those are the people who came and assisted that comrade. And in fact, what they did was marvelous because they even ended up using their own money, not even the money from the offices, their own money, sacrificing their time. That was around 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning, waking up and going to Kangari police station to help a comrade. That is the kind of leadership that we need, that will stand up for the comrades. And that is what Aaron, apart from other many things that he has done, that is one of the things. Coming back to your question, you said a leader ought to take his people where
they don't want to be, but he takes people where they don't want to be. But
yeah, that is what leaders should be doing. Actually, it doesn't mean that when you are a leader, you should be doing what the people are expecting. Sometimes the people are expecting something, but it's not good for them. It might be good now, but in the future, it will not be better if you had taken another direction. So I feel that narrative is very true, and a leader should take people where they should go. That even has been seen but with our president, William Samuel Ruto, who is making very serious decisions that might be making people suffer now, but in the future, you will now feel the impacts and the results of the decisions.
Okay, coming back to you, there is this comment from one of our viewers. He's saying that, what are you really trying to mean, constitution appeal without a tangible point to state?
Without a tangible point to state.
Yeah.
I was not given time to state my tangible point. Allow me to state my tangible point then.
What are your points?
What my point is, information of the constitution in a manner that, let me say, do you know there's no difference between a delegate and a class rep in this institution? Have you ever realized that? Not unless a delegate serves as in the council. What the difference between them is just a piece of paper a delegate will get to serve as a leader at a particular institution. Do you know that? So in our constitution, there is section 4 sub article 3 states that under the function of the student council, it states that the student council shall, underline the word shall, recommend to the university management a review of the allowances and remuneration payable to USA officials from USA officials from time to time. Underline the word shall. Shall mandatory, not may. Right? So this constitution, has it been structured in a manner that it also can favor the delegates? Do you know delegates? Sometimes these delegates use a lot of finances to campaign, right? They use a lot of finances to campaign, right? We have also some constitution. In our constitution, this guy, he was advocating for the office of the opposition party. Is it stated in our constitution? It is not there. No, what I was trying to say, we put, let us make this constitution. No, even if you see the constitution of our country, it changes. It changes time with time, right? We changed the constitution, the 2010 constitution by His Excellency Kibaki. We also, the more the school grows, you can't say this is a growing school. This is a developed school, a school that offers law, nursing, and engineering in the same building. This is a very great school. A school that has been ranked the most perfect academically. This is a developed school. You can't just tell us this is a growing school. This is a developed school, right? So I think I've answered that question. Allow me add something for a few minutes. I can just say I've listened to Maru. I've also listened to the defense. And I want to believe that all of us in this panel, our intellectual capacity is at optimum. In fact, we're in university. We couldn't have entered in this university as failures, right? Our intellectual capacity is at optimum. The discrepancy between our coalitions, this coalition, the coalition of Joy Fins and Maru and mine, can only be solved in the apex of the constitutional, in the apex of the laws of this academic land, right?
Yeah.
Let us not say because of that 500 shillings. I've heard Maru has been asked a simple question, but he has maneuvered around saying the special need police station. That is the police station. He has helped my people when I was a leader. Maru, you have asked him a simple question. When you were a leader in this school, Maru said no. Right?
Yeah.
Maru said no. Not in this school. The mandate, the role of that leader is to help students in this school. Members of student council, right? Not outside. If he helped, that's good. He used this mandate to help people outside. Yet these people in this the students in this school, they have not been helping them in one way or the other. Let me say the problem. Let me say we cannot be stating problems without solutions. We have stated a problem here, saying the president had failed. When you study the constitutional, the US constitutional right, as these guys, as us seniors, number one, there's no need of saying sorry. We have failed, comrades, terribly. Us.
You say terribly.
Terribly. In fact, we have disappointed them terribly. Let me tell you the truth. I'm shocked that the people who formed the ruling government
and being one of the members who have failed the comrades terribly.
Yeah.
Do you believe that you will win their confidence back?
In fact, let me tell you something. I was just a minor senior.
So by now you are.
Well, now.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm the senior most in the senior group.
Let
me now tell you. Politically, I'm the senior most in the senior group. I'm saying I was a minor in the senior group. At that particular point, I had no say in decision making.
Oh.
So I learned from these guys. You know, I was learning. When we had in that coalition formation, I had no say. I had no say. But as now, I have learned the mistake of these guys. Number one, I can say the mistake we had done as us seniors, people who are forming coalitions and those other things that are not in this constitution of the US. Number one is allocating leaders. We are not allocating leaders in the best suited positions. You can't just bring a person from AE, Agriculture, Education and Extension, you put him in the position of treasurer. You can see the role of chairperson. It goes aligned with the constitution. It means our chairperson is suited to come from the school of law, right? Let's say the vice chairperson. Look at the roles of the vice chairperson. It talks more about health. It means that the suited candidate should come from the School of Nursing, and not necessarily. And that's why in this country, let me give an example. We are having some cabinet secretary in this country who are having some. Allow me mention them. It's something that is the fact is it's something that we know. If you know, start with the Kipchumba Murkomen. Kipchumba Murkomen is a lawyer. Is now in charge of defense and security and what, right?
Yeah.
And now that's interior security, right? That's why in this country we are being faced with challenges of bandits every now and then. Another example is Aden Duale. Aden Duale is the cabinet secretary of health, right? Aden Duale, I'm not even sure if he did biology. I'm not 100% sure. And that's why in this country, we are now being faced with challenges that in SHA, 11 billion has lost. In one night, we have lost 12 billion in SHA doing this and this and this, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
The president himself comes from agriculture. And I can just give a credit for him. Alisema ameteremsha bei ya unga. We can say it's because of that agriculture. But remember, when he was a minister of agriculture, we lost some millions. Let me now stop going from that inside. Thank you so much.
There is a question.
Let me respond to this man right away.
Yeah.
Before I forgot. This man is talking about the qualifications of the students' leaders. And he is saying that the only person who is qualified
not only
person is a person who is studying.
Not only.
Now, where is that? Where is this narrative? Where are you getting this thing?
I used the best suited candidate.
The best suited, yes, the best suited, but if it is the best suited, then it should have been written or documented in the US Constitution.
As I said,
and therefore, if it is not documented, and by the way, you said our intellectual capacity, by the virtue of us being in this university, is at optimum.
Yeah.
And therefore, it means that if it is at optimum,
Yeah.
regardless of the course or of the program that you are doing, you are qualified to be the students' leaders. So therefore, please don't insinuate a narrative that is not well.
Before you go, kindly allow me nisiache hii ndege iende haraka, niko na mawe nisimamishe kidogo. I think a good friend of mine, you got my point wrong. I never said only. I said the best suited candidate. I started by saying we failed. And by us failing, we saw where the challenges are, the problems, where we can. That's my opinion, right? That's my opinion. I've given an example in national politics.
Yeah,
right?
let's not give Javins a chance.
I just want to engage in their short wrangles and small wrangles because they are proving other ones now. Let me just build up something from the fast forward. I kind of disagree a little bit with my friend. Though my candidate is also from the law school, but I want to admit that let's give every comrade a chance to ride. Let's give them a chance irrespective of their schools. Leadership is inbuilt. Leadership is something that you can be even from the TVET school. And we are not saying that they are from a very minor department. One here, provided you are a comrade within this university, all of you are the same. Irrespective of your school, irrespective of whether you are a nursing student, you are a TVET student, you are pursuing diploma. If you are a comrade of this university, we are all equal. What brings the difference is now your department. So every comrade should be given a chance to serve in whatever position that they earn for.
And there is this question that is channeled to you. On the matter of the style of leadership compared to other institutions, do you think that there is a kind of quote-unquote intimidation from the administration?
Should I answer that, or should I just make a rejoinder first? Or should I do the both?
You can do both.
Okay, thank you. So I'll answer that. But before I do that, my friend refers me as someone who I really advocated for the position of the opposition leader, and not generally the opposition part, but also the constitutional amendment to the US Constitution. The sole purpose as to why I was doing that is because you find that there are some of the institutions. Just recently, there is a university that impeached their president. The same way we impeached the deputy president of Kenya, the Republic of Kenya. There is also an institution that impeached their president once they had realized that he was failing. I want to admit to you right now, if by any chance you could have had that article in the Constitution of USA, Philemon Kibet could have been impeached long far away. He could not have seen the second.
We have it.
Because so, not a law student.
We have it.
Not on the basis of being a law student, but on the basis of failing the comrades. Not only Philemon Kibet.
Does the Constitution provide such?
It has it. It has it. Let us know.
It has authority. The question is, you might have the provision of the Constitution, but is it implemented? That is the question. You see.
Yeah.
So even the fact of opposition office, the sole purpose as to why we want to bring in the office of the opposition is to check the US Council. That is the sole purpose of the office of the opposition. Now coming back to your question that you have said. The fact of intimidation, I will admit to some far extent that this university, I don't want to be on the radar with the administration, but let me just say it very, very boldly that leaders in this university are not given a chance to express their aspect of leadership freely. You find, for example, in the University of Nairobi and the Kenyatta University, the University Student Council is a very formidable council that can spearhead a number of changes within if they are given a room. And but for us, we always find ourselves in this framework where we elect leaders. Once we have elected them, they appear to be activists before they are being sworn in. They appear to be activists, people who think they are comrade-centered projects and stuff. But then once they are sworn in as the leaders of the university, most of them deviate from the idea that they stood for when they were campaigning. So you realize that once you have ukishashika tu Biblia, umeshakuwa sworn in, umepata ofisi, something just, I don't know what is it, but kuna tu wenye there is a total shift between how the behavior that you are depicting while you are campaigning, and now once you are now a leader. Because if you are a leader now, that is when now everything that you had planned, everything everything that you are allocated to the comrades will now be implemented at a capacity of you being in leadership. But that is what we are lacking. So the administration, I might blame them to some extent. Most of our leaders, but I won't blame them totally, because if we can have a leader who can stand his ground, someone who wants from the departure point of campaigning, you have always presented the agenda of the comrades. And once you are now have assumed the office, you can also still stand your ground and say that Mimi Kama Generali, this is my ground. If comrades are suffering, I will not be intimidated by the administration. If there is any comrade who is sleeping angry, for example, for the lack of, there is a budget for the comrades who don't have food. Through the office of SNS, who is now currently vying for the chairperson. I categorically stated that the current office holder, the special need representative who was currently serving and is vying for the chairperson, if there is anyone comrade who can come up front and say, apart from, leave alone the food drive staff, and even if going by the books, even the food drive staff, Maru stated clearly that he is the one who has been helped.
Exactly.
If I'm wrong, we are on live.
He said his people.
His people
Outside
who are helped to buy. So I'm asking myself, so apart from how many comrades who maybe are not the people, are not having any direct link with SNS?
Maybe
how many
people can answer that?
No,
So,
thank you. I cannot have the exact number, but Jovins, you are stating about the food.
No, that was just part of the example.
Apart from the normal food right. We have the meal cards, and in the meal cards, I am very sure that the meal cards were announced in the main group and in all the other groups, including the religion groups.
But there are these regulations of which
and any other group that is in this university. And therefore, any other student who had
we are on live platform, and for the respect of this media, I don't want to sound very arrogant. I really respect this media because this is something of our own. We need to respect and embrace it. I know for a fact that very many comrades, even up to date, even right now, we have leaders, but there are very many comrades who are suffering out there without the leadership coming from. That is for a fact. Someone told me at some point, he thought that I'm a student leader. Then he came and approached me and told me that, generally, there is a student there is a market around Kangaroo, if you all know. There was a comrade who was sleeping there for 3 good days. I reported that matter.
The market.
There is a shade that has been built somewhere, they cocoon something there. So the guy, because of the rental stuff, I was not in good terms with the landlord then. So that is a comrade suffering while we have leadership in this university. And then Maru can cry over and over of what the SNS did. But if we cannot see it, it's not a matter of whom did you help. We need to understand the majority of the comrades were helped by who. Because we are not electing the leader. We are not, even for example, right now I'm supporting someone, yes? But I'm not electing a leader to serve 2 people, to serve 50 people, to serve my people, because as generally maybe I have friends.
And also for the special needs, for a person to get the food drive. I saw there are some of the regulations that are put.
This whole cocoon of food drive, it's being done in a very murky way. And I don't love that fact. Because if someone is in need, it should not be on the basis of, because I have a friend who is in the student council, SNS is my friend, I supported him to be a student leader, now I should be in a position to get that food drive. That food drive should be given to people who need it. For example, to support Mara, I might have supported you as Tony to be a student leader. So once you have assumed that office as the student leader, it should not be on the basis that because I supported you, now you should give me that food drive. You should be giving people who need it. Maybe generally need it, yes. If I need it, give it because I need it. But give another person. Don't disqualify another person because 1 or 2 he never supported you, or apart from supporting you, that person maybe you don't know him. Yeah, so that should be the basis of as to why you help someone once you have assumed the office should be very equal. Very equal. So our comrades, that is what I can say. Our people, my people, I'm also part of it. Let's not support someone on the basis of, Sasa who you. And then let's also question the legitimacy of these people. Let's always learn to question the legitimacy of these people. If someone was given a chance to serve in whatever position, even if you are the unit representative, but you fail your class members, that person should go home. Because we are not, the student leadership should not be something pata potea stuff.
Yeah.
This should be the engine of the institution. If, for example, you had served as a student leader in the capacity of the student council, even the SNS, the treasurer, the male representative, and that should be applied, even, for example, my candidate. If by any chance I'm supporting someone who had served initially, if he had failed comrades, I end nyumbani. Even for my candidate as well. I'm not saying this because of Maru, I'm not saying this because of Zek and any other person. Nikileta project, if I'm supporting someone, and I present this candidate to the Congress. Now this candidate by any chance aliwahi serve kama delegate, even the unit rep, but people are crying out that he never served them well. Then that person should go home.
With immediate
effect. Let's bring a new energy, someone who can address the interests of the Congress, someone who can stand for the Congress, and someone who can always be the first gear. If there any chance kuna comrade anaumia, yeye atakuwa wa kwanza ku defend.
And if I might add on that, let us be honest. Let us stop acting as people with liquid intelligence. Let me tell you the truth. And my grandfather used to tell me, if you can't be wise, try and act wise. And in this world, you either be wise or otherwise. And that has been proved by Joy Fins is otherwise. Let me demystify it. If there are people who are supposed to go home, the two of them.
Why?
They brought them, they failed. In fact, the failure started with them bringing a failed chair.
You started by stating that they are served according to their level. They did their best.
Who started
now?
Let me finish. Let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you
another chance to reply.
Okay, you will get another chance. Allow me speak. Allow me dispense knowledge carelessly.
No, that's not knowledge.
It might not sound knowledge to people suffering from third month's acute syndrome. I was saying this. Let us be honest, right? If I fail,
just to sum up,
to sum up, let me tell you. You see, I personally said these people failed, right?
Yeah.
I never said they did. I said they did their worst. I never said they did their best. So I can't just come and start lying to comrades. I'll give you a good leader. If I fail to give you a good leader, I'll give you a good leader. No, let us stop that. Hiyo ni ukora ya asubuhi. If let me speak.
Okay. Thank you.
Just a rejoinder to what you said. If there is time, unless there isn't.
Okay.
This ignorance is what we should do away with in this campus politics. Because when we were starting this interview, he categorically stated that he's the one who brought the majority in the student council. So right now, he's now shifting the blame to other people because you now want to play the sympathy card, which we won't do.
Which sympathy? I brought the majority. I brought the majority. Yet I stated that I was a senior. I was a minority senior. I was a minor senior.
As generally, I'll face the Congress with my candidate. I will face the Congress with my candidate. I'll explain the project and the kind of ideas and the agenda that the agenda my candidate has for the Congress. If the Congress will buy, fine and good.
Well and fine.
If the Congress would buy, it is upon them. The sole power belongs to the Congress.
Okay. So
let me just finish this for once and for all, because these people are just talking carelessly. Anyhow, let me just say this: that the comrades are the people to decide.
Exactly.
And we are going to present them to them. I think you are getting this. We are going to present them to them, and they are the people to decide. So coming here and just shifting blame games and just things here and there it's not that good. It's not portraying the real picture of a leader.
So we shall get another platform of which we shall discuss these matters in deep. So we can just go through the comments here. Kipchol and Gat Emmanuel saying, if you are saying the project of latrines was for the former US government, not the current, my big question is, do you have your own project? Okay, we shall come back to that. The outgoing regime had to complete the unfinished business first. If they claim the project was theirs, why were they not implemented at the time? This is Vincent Kikemoy. This other one. If the only thing you can advocate for is leadership on tribal lines, I guess you are in the wrong place. Here we are arguing on issues plans. Pacheco. I don't know who is that.
I know him.
You know him?
I'll respond to that.
Okay, Pacheco, I think you are on the wrong platform advocating the same thing. Another person here is saying those people are incompetent and visionless since the beginning. He's called the food football fans are complaining they can't watch games in school.
Exactly. I'll respond on that.
My big question is, are the Kalenjins the cause of the issue with football? That is a question. Okay. On the matter, that is the answer. Hapa kuna mwenye nasikia anatoka humanities to treasure. Like seriously? Okay. There is a question. Can Zek quote his assertions from the Constitution? Where is it stated that leaders should come from a specific department?
Okay. I'll answer that. Okay.
Kipchumba, Zek, you are corrected that Kipchumba is in charge of interior, not defense. Zek, that is intimidating. If you are basing your assertions on the best suited whatever, do you think the panel vetting the leaders could clear them for yourself?
Okay.
Zek, every is able to vie for any seat regardless of the department they come from. Alafu yeye anasema watu watatu track record. Thank you to Pacheco. On the same question, how is your plan or rather alternative ways to ensure student council autonomy? And also this Clary Charles. Okay guys, we have had your complaints of your Nigeria. Philemon Kibet to God, there is no article in the constitution that supports impeachment of student leader. Otherwise, angekuwa kama Gachagua.
Angeenda nyumbani.
Yes, there.
So let me address.
Let me we shall come back to you. Why can the Commission for the University abolish the delegate system of election?
We'll answer that.
Nice one. The topic of discussion was about power shifts, not a debate of the past. But I think this is the platform that we discuss issues that has been affecting us, and we vision on the future. Yeah, I think we shall have another platform where we shall go deep in these matters. But for now, I think because of time, we shall wrap it. Thank you all our fans for following our live on YouTube. This has been Mbuni News Broadcast. Also, keep interacting with us on our social media platforms. I've been your host, Tony Nandasaba. Until next time, goodbye.